everyone. My presentation is about human single-chain antibody variable fragment to M2 protein that interferes with influenza virus infectious cycle. Influenza viruses cause highly infectious respiratory disease. They are classified into T types A, B, and C. Type A viruses are subdivided into 16 hemagglutinin and 9 neuraminidase. The virion can have any pair of H and N, such as H1N1, H2N2, HTN2, H5N1, and so on. Type A is the widest host range, including human, mammal, and avian. Influenza viruses are enveloped negative sense single-stranded RNA viruses. They have 7 to 8 RNA segments encoding 10 to 11 proteins. Influenza virus change antigenicity frequently from low fidelity of RNA polymerase which lack proof leading. This antigenic change is called antigenic dip. Another is antigenic shift, which is the measure of antigenic change due to the genetic reassortment. Nowadays, there are only two families of anti-influenza drugs. One is ion channel blocker or M2 blocker, including amantadine and brimantadine, which is interfere virus uncoating. Another is neuraminidase inhibitor, including oseltamivir and zanamivir, which inhibit progeny virus release from the infected host cells. However, there are limitations of the anti-influenza drugs. Influenza virus that resist both the M2 blocker and neuraminidase inhibitor have emerged due to the antigenic variation, either drift or shift. The drugs must be taken at the early time of infection for the high effectiveness. The drug supply may not meet the demand during the epidemic and pandemic. Thus, the new anti-influenza remedy is needed. Antibody has been used with success for influenza treatment. Examples are the use of human blood products from patients recovering from Spanish flu for treatment influenza. The use of specific monoclonal antibody produced from immune B cell from patients who recover from influenza. The humanized and host-derived Fab-PAM2 fragment, and in our laboratory, human SCFV specific to hemagglutinin of H5N1 could rescue mice from lethal infections of homologous and heterologous strain of H5N1. The objective of this study is to produce fully human single-chain antibody variable fragment that bound specifically to H5N1 influenza virus M2 protein and interfere with replication cycle of influenza viruses. The H5N1 influenza A viruses used in this study include ADAP Thailand 144, ADAP Thailand Suphanburi KU08, ADAP Thailand Nong Khai KU56, and A-Chicken Thailand NP172, and this virus all propagate in embryonated egg. First, production of recombinant M2 protein. The total RNA extraction was extraction from ADAP Thailand 144. cDNA was synthesized. M2 gene sequence was PCR amplified, and the amplicon about 278 was obtained. The gene was cloned into the plasmid and the recombinant vector were put into the E. coli. Then recombinant M2 was produced from E. coli transformant grown under IPTG induction. The M2 protein was purified from the E. coli lysase by using affinity resin. The SDS page revealed the protein at about 17 kilodalton, which confirmed by Western blotting, and LC-MSMS verified that protein is the influenza M2. A human SCFV fast library was constructed in our laboratory. Gene coding for all family of human VH and VL were amplified from B lymphocyte of city-type but donor by using degenerative primers. The VH and VL gene were linked randomly into the SCFV sequence. The SCFV repertoire was cloned into the plasmid. The plasmid were transfected into E. coli. The human SCFV phage library was obtained after co-infecting the plasmid transformed E. coli with the helper phage, and each phage particle carries SCFV on the surface and has the SCFV gene in the phage genome. For selection of phage clone that bound to recombinant M2 protein, the human SCFV library was added into an ELISA well coated with the M2 protein. Then remove the unbound phage and add the E. coli to the well contained M2 bound the phage. Then the phage transfect bacteria were grown on the selective agar. E. coli clone that carry HUSCFV gene were grown and induced to express HUSCFV protein, which could be seen protein duplet at the 25 to 30 kilodaltons. Many clones bound specifically to the recombinant M2 in an indirect ELISA above the background of the antigen control, and 5 clones with the star were tested further, and they were renamed into clone number 1 to clone number 5. Restriction fragment length polymorphism of the gene sequence coding for the human SCFV of the 5 selected clones were studied using MWA1 restriction endonuclease. All clones had different RFLP or DNA binding pattern. This indicated that their SCFV genes are diverse. The HUSCFV from the 5 selected clones were tested for binding to the soluble recombinant M2 by Western blotting. The HUSCFV bound to the M2 and were seen at antigen antibody reactive band at the 17 kilodalton. The HUSCFV were tested for the binding with the native M2 in influenza homogeneous by both indirect ELISA and Western blotting, and the HUSCFV from all clones could bind to the native M2 protein in the virus homogeneous. The HUSCFV of clone number 3, 4, and 5 were tested further for ability to inhibit the influenza virus replication in MDCK cell using the polyclonal antibody to M2 protein, primantadine as the positive inhibition control, and irrelevant as the background inhibition control. Virus infected MDCK cell in culture medium as the negative inhibition control. Through strain of H5N1 virus, namely chicken NP172 clade 2 and A.KU08 clade 1, were mixed individually with the HUSCFV of the clone number 3, 4, and 5, as well as polyclonal antibody, primantadine or irrelevant HUSCFV. Virus in the medium served as a non-treated control. The mixture were added to the MDCK cell monolayer and kept for 1 hour for allowing the virus absorption and cellular entry. Then, extracellular virus were removed by washing. The infected MDCK cells were replenished with the fresh culture medium containing the respective antibody and control. After 24 hours, virus amount in the culture supernatant and inside the cell were determined by using quantitative real-time RT-PCR, and intracellular virus also detected by plug assay using polyclonal to the M2 as the detection antigen. And this is the result of plug assay for quantification of the M2 protein in MDCK cell infected with the virus that receive different treatment. There are a lot of plaques in the MDCK cell infected with virus alone, virus treated with irrelevant HUSCFV and polyclonal antibody. Rimetadine could inhibit replication of sensitive strain NP172 and could not inhibit the virus in the resistant strain KU08. HUSCFV clone number 3, 4, and 5 could reduce significantly of the plaque in the MDCK cell, and this is the uninfected MDCK cell. And this slide shows log 10 of 4 decades of influenza virus M1 RNA in the MDCK cell that shown in the left panel, culture supernatant in the right panel. The SCFV clone number 3, 4, and 5 could inhibit the virus replication in different degree. Clone number 3 is the best, followed by clone number 5 and number 4 respectively. Irrelevant HUSCFV could not inhibit the virus replication as shown in no reduction both in infected cell and in supernatant. Rimetadine exerts the best inhibition to the A-chicken 172 in both supernate and infected cell. The polyclonal antibody had minimal inhibitory effect. So, discussion and conclusion. First, human monoclonal SCFV that bound to recombinant M2 of H5N1 virus were successfully produced by using fast display technology. Second, the HUSCFV could bind to the native M2 protein in homogeneous of heterologous influenza H5N1 viruses belonging to different clades. Third, the HUSCFV could interfere with the influenza virus replication shown by reduction of both virus release and virus antigen together with RNA inside the infected cell. Fourth, the human monoclonal antibody SCFV have high potential for develop further into an adjunctive also remedy for treatment of influenza, especially in the resistant cases. All granting agency and the advisory committee are acknowledged with grateful thanks. And thanks for the moral support from my colleague. Thank you for your kind attention.
Any question?
I have a question. I just wonder, because you have different kind of the FCFV, right? Can you combinations? Did you do the experiment that you combination? Because the clone 3 that have about half of the potency of the rimetadine, right? The drug that kill the virus. Can you just pull the less? Do you think that it will increase the inhibition of the virus to attack the cell?
It's good if I combine HUSCFV can increase the inhibitory of virus, but in this study I would like to find the epitope that SCFV can bind and get the reduction of the virus.
Just why you just do single? Can you do the combinations, or you plan to do for the next
Next step. I think we could find the epitope that could I think it's good if we find a good epitope that SCFP can buy and reduce